A live look inside T-Mobile Park as Game 5 of the American League Championship Series is set to begin, 3:08. And you will see that game on Fox Sports 1, the Fox 1 app. The Mariners trying to take a 3-2 lead before the series moves on to Toronto for games 6 and 7. And a lot has been made of the Mariners' futility in the postseason. They've never been to the World Series. That is well documented. They have only made it to the American League Championship Series now 3 times, looking for a chance to break through to the World Series. Someone who knows very well about being a Mariner in American League Championship Series, the skipper, Dan Wilson, who has been part of the organization for all of that, and Edgar Martinez, now the Mariners batting coach, and we heard from Edgar earlier this afternoon.
Edgar, for you, obviously being involved with this team for the last year and a half in your role, but also just the history you have with this team. What's been the emotions like for you just seeing this team be at this place that you've been at several times in your playing career?
Yeah, it's been incredible run, and it's a great feeling to see this team doing what it's been doing, and it's just very, very special to see what's going on. This is the first time that we are in this situation. Like, you know, we've been in the American League Championship Series before, but this time we have 2 wins and 2 more to go. So it's a great feeling, very special.
Go back to Rick on the left.
Edgar, 30 years ago, you had the base hit, the walk-off double to win the American League Division Series against the Yankees. 30 years later, when you saw Jorge Polanco with the base hit to win in the bottom of the 15th inning, did that bring back from flashbacks for you? And what was it like for you to see that 30 years later, to have Polanco get that base hit?
Yeah, it's been so similar, you know, the 1995 and this year, September, it looks very similar. The way we played in 1995, chasing the Angels, and this year Houston, and we're in this situation. And then we have Polanco, his performance this year, and driving the winning run against Detroit to advance to the American League Championship Series. So similar. And it just brought those memories from 1995. And we just hope, you know, that we go even farther this year.
Go to Brian in the middle.
Edgar, you get to see how these players prepare now. What of their tools or technology do you think would have helped you the most when you were a player?
I think that the amount of information that is available, not only in the data about pitchers, but also how the video is used this year, the technology that it's been used to analyze the swing, the pitches. It's pretty amazing what all that information. It will be very helpful when I play. We have to rely on those years what you know you see, and it's pretty amazing the amount of information and the technology that it's been used these days.
You think you would have used it?
Yes, I would.
We'll go to Shannon on the left back there.
Edgar, Jorge Polanco has credited you quite a bit with what he has done this year and really understanding the approach and committing it to it. What is some of the work that you've done with him, and how have you seen that you know, play out in what he has done?
Well, I think that what Polanco has done is pretty amazing, and credit to him. You know, he makes some adjustments with his swing during the off season. You know, if you see him in last year, he was open with his stance. This year, a little closer. His hands, since they're in different positions right now, he's very short to the ball and more direct to the ball. And that's all him. He's very good at knowing his swing and knowing what he needs to do to improve it. And all the things that I talked to him and to the rest of the guys, it's about the approach and the planning and things like that. But his swing, he knows it very well, and he can make adjustments from one at bat to the next. And that's all credit to him.
Go to Kate on the left.
With the technology and all the data, you had an interest right early on in technology and computers and that kind of analytical mind. Not everyone has that. How do you help sort through the information that is available for players? Because sometimes there can be information overload, right?
Yeah.
And how do you tailor that message to each of the hitters? And they've made so many improvements since you've been here. What do you think it is about your message that resonates with the hitters?
I think in part is to simplify it. Hitting can get very complicated when we have too many thoughts, and we perform better when things are simple. The simplest you can do it is just see the ball, hit the ball. You know, what they told us when we were little leaguers. But some of the information that we use is about tendencies, what the pitcher, their pitcher's tendencies, how they pitch with men in score position versus, you know, nobody on base and things like that, and how they're pitching to us as hitters, because they pitch differently to Cal than to you know, Randy, for example. And when we know that information, is very helpful. So Kevin does a great job, you know, with the hitters, sorting out all these tendencies and the type of pitches they have and how the pitch moves, you know, and things like that. So that's what we're trying to, in a way, to simplify it for the hitters.
Edgar, we'll go on the right to Tyler.
Okay, so hearing from Edgar Martinez, the Mariner legend, the Hall of Famer, and the current Mariners batting coach about his hitting philosophy. Really a fascinating conversation coming from one of the best pure hitters in the history of the game. And you want to talk about great pure hitters. How about the middle of that Toronto lineup right now, and Vladimir Guerrero just absolutely raking. Look at what Toronto has done from the first two games of this series to the last two, and this is a look at games 1 and 2. You see their runs. They were outscored with only 4 runs, and they have scored 21 to the Mariners 6 now in games 3 and 4, banging out 29 hits, 7 home runs, 13 extra base hits. I mean, that's just crazy, and still leaving 14 guys on.
Yeah, and you have Vlad Guerrero on fire. He leads the team in batting average, and he's just been one of those guys who's really stepped up, and you've looked at it. I mean, he went 2 of 5 with a solo home run in last night's outing. He's now recorded 2+ hits 5 times in the playoffs. I mean, he is someone to watch out for. He gets up and you just go, oh, wait, what's going to happen?
Oh, I know. Well, I mean, it's just contagious, too. So Vlad, I mean, just to put a finer point on it, he's batting .455 in the postseason, a .500 on-base percentage out of your 3-hitter, and a 1.475 OPS. That is absolute video game numbers. So Vlad, I mean, the ball to him right now is looking like a beach ball. But, you know, the spark plug the last 2 games has been Jimenez in the 9-hole. I mean, he back-to-back home runs in the last 2 games. He is batting .310 in the postseason. They're getting production up and down the lineup, and it's all driven by Vladimir Guerrero right in the heart of it. We have a lot more to come here on Mariner Extra Innings.
Yeah, we are going to talk to Angie Mentink, who Bill got to sit down with earlier on Good Day Seattle. That's coming up. And we're going to also get your forecast. That's important on a day. Roof open, roof closed. What's going on? We're getting really close to that 3:08 first pitch.
And Vladimir Guerrero getting his game face on, getting his groove on for Game 5 of the American League Championship Series. We are live from T-Mobile Park. Welcome back in.
1 o'clock straight up, and we are just a little over 2 hours away from first pitch here for the ALCS Game 5. The Mariners and Blue Jays going to go at it again. The series even at 2 apiece, and the M's hoping to take one at home here. And, you know, the weather seems perfect for baseball. Yesterday, we're in the upper 50s. Today, probably about maybe the same around first pitch. Brian McMillan's been at the field all week, off and on, getting out there. And this morning, he was there, and he's going to give us our forecast for first pitch at 3:08.
The atmosphere electric again here at T-Mobile Park for Game 5 of the American League Championship Series. This will be the last home game for the Mariners. And then they're going to take it on over to Toronto for Game 6 and perhaps Game 7. So let's take a look at your futurecast. How are things going to look for the game today? Well, initially starting off with some cloud cover, but by the time we get to 3 o'clock by first pitch, we're going to be looking good. Mostly sunny skies, just a few clouds in the high in the sky. So we're looking good here today. And then as we get through the evening tonight, we're going to be looking at beautiful starry skies this evening. That'll cool us off. So here's your forecast. First pitch, 59 degrees. You're still going to want to bundle up heading down to the ballpark. But again, that roof should be open, and we'll be looking at mostly sunny skies. Go Mariners. Let's take Game 5. We'll send it back to you guys.
Let's do it. All right, B-Mac, thank you. Earlier this morning on Good Day Seattle, we were joined by my old friend Angie Mentink, the Mariner broadcaster and analyst, with her take on this Game 5. Angie Mentink with the Mariners is here this morning to talk about the series. And you and I, back in 2001, were covering the Mariners, and they had that 116-win season.
They never lost.
They went to the ALCS that year. And what has struck me the last 2 games of this series, as it was, 24 years ago, the Mariners are playing like a team, it seems to me, that hasn't been there before. Yeah. Are you seeing that at all?
I mean, there's certainly some similarities between those two teams. It was the last time, obviously, that they won the West, was back in 2001. Right. And, there is something to that you have to learn. But at the same time, I believe this, very strongly, that you can never take your successes or your failures into the next game. Neither one of them is beneficial. It doesn't matter how well you played the day before. It's not going to help you the next day. And I think that's what the Mariners need to do. Right now, they just have to reset. Right now, this is a best-of-3 series. You got to find a way to win 2 of 3.
Okay, so Bryce Miller, he came out in Game 1, and it was nothing short of heroic, the performance that he had. What really struck me is that he gives up the leadoff home run to George Springer and bounces right back and goes 6 strong. We need something similar today out of him.
Except the leadoff homer. We don't need that.
Yeah, we don't need that.
No. Yeah, absolutely. I think that there is a comfort level in that too, is that the Mariners started out so hot there in Toronto with those first 2 games, started by the fact that it's just repeat. It's wash, rinse, repeat. So hopefully there is some comfort in having him back out there on the mound. And we learned also, because we wondered if Brian Wu was going to be the starter for today's game, but instead he's going to be there in the bullpen, and that's another weapon that Dan Wilson will be able to deploy, and that's an impressive weapon.
Yeah, we'll have to see on that. Okay, this is a best-of-3 series now. Mariners can take the upper hand heading back to Toronto. What do you want to see out of the Mariner lineup today?
I would like to see less swing and miss. I think that, you look at the stats, and the Mariners and the Blue Jays, they've homered and they have walked the exact same. And the difference is they have found a way to put the ball in play a bit more than the Mariners. Mariners have a lot more strikeouts. Yeah. And so I would like to see that fantastic game plan at the plate offensively that they had in those first 2 games. I thought they had a plan, and they went and they implemented that plan offensively, and I think that's what needs to be done. And then on the pitching side of things, the pitching has not been as strong the last couple of days. George Kirby, 8 runs. It ties a career high for him, and then second shortest outing of Luis Castillo's career. So
The Jays are on fire right now, and so that was part of my conversation with Angie Mentink earlier this morning, and big changes to the Mariner lineup today. Most notably, Julio Rodriguez is going to get the start in the leadoff spot today. He hasn't been in that spot since July. Naylor moving to the 4-hole today. Polanco in the 3-hole from the 4 spot. Randy Arozarena moving from leadoff to number 5, and then Suarez, Crawford, Dominic Canzone, Leo Rivas, the Mariners starting 9 today.
And it'll be interesting, Bill, to see Julio in that leadoff spot and how he feels about that. I know we did some pregame earlier, and Lauren Helmbrecht got to talk with him. We'll see if he mentions that and talks about the lineup, because that is kind of a little bit of a swing with guys shifting. You still have Naylor, though, right in the middle, and that's been something good.
He was 3 for 3 last night.
For sure. We'll have so much more after the break on our extra innings pregame show here. Fans are heading into the field there at T-Mobile Park. We'll be right back.
We are 2 hours away from first pitch of Game 5 of the American League Championship Series. A live look inside T-Mobile Park as the Mariners and Blue Jays get set for Game 5 today. The Mariners trying to jumpstart that offense by changing the batting order. Julio Rodriguez is going to get the start in center field and batting leadoff for the Mariners today. And the slumping of Randy Arozarena, he will start in center field, but he is batting 5th, moving down from the number 1 spot.
And maybe not surprising that the change happened. You know, Julio 0 for 3, a lot of guys 0 for 3, Polanco, Raleigh, and you got that. So the change could be good. They're still the same guys to get the mojo back. We had Lauren Helmbrecht. She was down on the field there, and she got to catch up with Julio Rodriguez. So let's take a listen to what he had to say about learning about this lineup.
Here now with Mariners center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Julio, you are starting off in this game. What was the decision process going into that?
Honestly, like, I let the manager, I was deciding, you know, the lineup and all that, and like he just kind of told me, like, hey, like, I think we're gonna start you up in the leadoff spot. How you feel? I was like, yeah, I feel good. Like, whatever you feel like is right, that's what I'm ready to do.
And you haven't hit leadoff since July. How much do you know that this is a vote of confidence for you in this game?
I just feel like, you know, they trust me to be ready in whatever situation they put me on, and you know, I feel good. I feel like I've done it before. Obviously, like, it's gonna be like the first time in a while, but you know, it's just go out there and compete.
What has the message in the clubhouse been going into this Game 5, knowing that you guys are coming off some 2 tough losses, but that if you win today, it's 3-2 in the series?
Honestly, just staying within ourselves and like competing, you know, because we basically have ourselves a best of 3 series now, and you know, just going out there and compete.
You're a leader on this team. What have you said to your teammates, or even in your own head, to hype you up for Game 5?
Just to stay within myself. It's basically what I just said. Stay within myself, control what I can control, and play hard. I feel like that's the only thing you can really control. And I feel like at the end of the day, the results are going to be there. But just like your effort and like your focus, like that's what has to be there.
Last question. I saw you warming up just now with Ichiro. He has obviously been such an important part to this team. When you talk to him, do you ask him advice? What kind of conversations do the two of you have, especially in the postseason?
I feel like I ask him so many different things about life, about baseball, and like just in general about anything baseball related. And he's always, you know, telling me to, you know, control what I can control, and like I always give a good effort, and that I always, like, you know, there is room to improve. That's something that he always says, and I'm just so happy that I can just go and turn to him whenever I need an advice.
Thanks again. I'll send it back to you after a conversation with Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah, always room to improve, right?
Let's go Mariners. Let's go J-Rod. Let's get it done in that leadoff spot. We need production out of the top half of our lineup. Josh Naylor was a one-man wrecking crew last night with the home run, going 3 for 3. But we need that kind of production out of the heart of our lineup, and something that's been missing this entire series, that production from 6 through 9. Yeah. So hopefully we can avoid this. Grounding into double plays. So many swings and misses, and oh gosh, the bases loaded walk. I mean that
just was tough to watch.
It's just inexcusable. And then Leo Rivas picked off at first base. Come on, Leo, we got you on base.
He hadn't picked someone off forever, and he gets one against us. So
yeah, and then the wild pitch there. So So the Mariners have got to avoid hurting themselves today. I mean, that's going to be the biggest thing. And maybe, switching things up in the lineup, maybe that's what they need. But on top of all of that, I mean, headlining all of this, it's the starting pitching. And they need Bryce Miller to be the Bryce Miller that we saw in Toronto in Game 1 when he was absolutely sterling after giving up that leadoff home run to George Springer.
Something that is just shocking. When you go out there and you throw that first pitch and right away, boom, that's how the game goes. I mean, he's a professional, and he was a professional that night, and he needs to bring that same game there with that same mindset and that same attitude. We have a lot more to come here on Mariners Extra Innings. We are going to hear from Toronto skipper John Schneider when we come back as the Mariners take their final BP Hacks. Game 5 of the ALCS just a couple hours away. Mariners Extra Innings. The Toronto Blue Jays in the cage now for pregame batting practice ahead of Game 5 of the American League Championship Series. The Mariners have a chance to take a 3-2 lead in the series as the series then turns to Toronto for Games 6 and 7. Yeah, and you can imagine the Blue Jays feeling pretty good right now coming off of those 2 wins. That's how the Mariners felt, right? They felt great coming off those 2 wins, and then look, what happened there. So we'll see what happens tonight. Anyone's game. It's kind of a pick-em game, but skipper John Schneider, he's one of those guys who's looking like he feels better after getting those 2 wins. Well, who wouldn't? I mean, it's been the best of times, the worst of times. Right. Really a tale of 2 cities. I mean, you think about it, Toronto came into Game 1 of this series having vanquished the Yankees, their arch rivals in the DS, and then they get to Game 1, they fell flat against the Mariners. Bryce Miller pitched a gem that game. Logan Gilbert, we throw him at him in Game 2, and the Mariners able to come away with a 2-0 series lead. Things looked great. We were thinking sweep. Well, guess what? Schneider got his guys going, and the last 2 games, a completely different story in Seattle. We heard from the Toronto skipper earlier.
When you look at managing the bullpen over a 7-game series, what are the things that you've kind of picked up on the longer series versus the 5-game, and kind of what's the state of the Jays bullpen right now?
Yeah, it's different for sure. I think based off of Game 3 and yesterday, had a chance to get a lot of guys in, save some leverage guys a little bit. Trying to, we still got some guys with some length too. When you got Chris and Eric down there as well, which is kind of the thinking when the series starts. So we're in a good spot. Everyone's available today, which is kind of where you want to land with the off day tomorrow. So starters play a big part, obviously, with Shane and Max doing what they did. So we're in a good spot, and you can kind of pick and choose.
And with Kevin and the split, how unique of a pitch is it? Well, you could talk about command, but obviously you want the thing to move as much as possible. So how does that look to you from the manager's chair?
It's I feel like the split is the the pitch of the postseason. It seems like Kev's got a unique one. I think it can be almost like a changeup at times. It can be one that is more for swing and miss. The key is just carrying the zone. You know what I mean? If you have to keep it in the zone enough for it to be a weapon. So where guys can't just eliminate it for being a strike. So it's unique for sure. You never really know where it's going to go off the bat. We've kind of battled our positioning equation with Kev since he's been here. But you never really know where it's going to go off the bat. He can get a lot of weak contact, a lot of weird swings. So main thing is just kind of carrying the zone as much as you can with it.
The second row, Mike.
Schneider talking about the split-finger fastball of Kevin Gausman, the former Cy Young winner, who's going to be going for Toronto in Game 5. Yeah, for sure. And, he's looking to get back to that World Series. It's been 32 years, if you can believe that. So well, it's been almost 50 for Seattle. I think we're about due. Exactly. Well, let's get out to the fans. Let's check back in outside of T-Mobile Park and see what's going on. AJ's been roaming around out there talking to people. What's happening out there now, AJ?
I don't know who AJ is. I'm Professor Dumbledore, and we are here trying to create a perfect spell for the Mariners' win today. Let's see if we can find any good ingredients that we might be able to put in this spell. How about you, fellas? Could you think of something we could put in our spell for the Mariners to win today?
Beer.
Beer, what a great idea. How about this fan right over here? Hello, little fan. Not even a little bit interested. How about some of the wonderful snacks that we could have? Maybe a Seattle dog, maybe some cream cheese. Here's a fan I think that could help us with this spell. Could we talk to you about what you would put in a spell to help the Mariners win today?
Yes.
What do you think they need?
20 home runs.
Let's put that in here. Can you do a little... Oh, I'm not even holding it the right side up. What is your name, young lad?
Owen.
Owen? Owen, put in the spell, the 20 home runs. Okay, put it in with your hands and we'll do a little... Yeah, put it in right there. Perfect. Thank you, Owen. Good luck in there, guys. What else? What else? We don't want to talk to that person over there at all. Maybe a hot dog. Or maybe some... Oh, perfect. Let's see if they have anything in here. Oh, it's so loud with the Kings of Leon. I don't know if we could get... What should we put in our spell for the Mariners?
The what?
A spell for the Mariners to win. Do you have any ingredients?
The best ingredient is like home runs this time. This time. I need more home runs this time.
More home runs is perfect. Thank you so much. How about you? What should we put in our spell for the Mariners to win?
What should you put in it? What kind of spell?
A money.
Oh, I love that idea. Don't you love that idea too?
Yeah?
We
Money?
do.
Money.
Money in to win?
Oh yeah, money. Put it in with the trident. Oh, I'm holding the wrong thing. Perfect
Yes.
spell. Thank you guys so much.
Yes.
Give him a high five.
Well, I don't know who that was out there, but whoever took the microphone from AJ, yes, getting some good love from the fans out there, some of the kids not really knowing what to put in that spell. But, you know, this just might be it.
20 home runs, that would probably do it today.
Yeah.
Money is always a nice incentive, and the Mariners do get a nice bonus if they do advance past the American League Championship Series to the World Series. So I like the elixir. It may just work. Shira Matsuzawa is live at Victory Hall, where we are anticipating Mariner victory today. Hi, Shira. Yeah, well, unfortunately, we can't hear what Shira had to say, but
she was, you know, had rubbed the genie and put Rodriguez out there. He's at the start of the lineup.
it felt
on him.
It felt victorious to me. I don't know. I'm getting the sense that it's just going to go our way. We will find out in less than 2 hours now. First pitch, 3:08 from T-Mobile Park, and Chris Swanson is live inside T-Mobile right now. Chris, what's going on?
We're going to talk to Chris after the break. We're so excited to get to him, but yeah, we will get to that after the break. Roof still closed here. Brian McMillan told us, Bill, that it looked like it might be open by first pitch. That's at 3:08, so we're ramping up to that. We'll be right back with more on Extra Innings.